everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a haul because recently I got a bunch of stuff. Which is funny because a couple of videos ago I said my New Year's resolution this year is to buy less makeup, and look what happened. By the way, from now on I'm gonna try to get in the habit of listing what makeup I'm wearing in the video, not just what I talk about. So yeah, this whole look, everything is gonna be in the description box. The way if y'all don't follow me on Twitter, you should, because that's where I'm gonna get questions for my next Q&A video I'm thinking of making, because I haven't made one in a while. Anyway, I'm just gonna start because I feel like this video is gonna be a million years long. There's so much to talk about. Blah. I'm gonna start with my most recent purchase, which is from ColourPop. So ColourPop recently, well, it's not really that recent. It's been, I think, a month and a half since they came out with these pressed powders. And I think this was on Valentine's Day when they did a really great promotion. A bunch of their other shadows were on sale, and the pressed powders were like, if you buy 4, then you get the palette for free. So that's why I just kind of went crazy and got a bunch of stuff. I love this palette so much. When you open it, this is what it looks like. I actually took out the styrofoam because the styrofoam only has 4 slots, and someone on Snapchat actually told me that if you rip out the styrofoam and the glue and everything, I had to like rub all the glue and tape out. But after you do that and you wipe it clean, this whole thing is a magnet, so you can put as many as you can fit in there. Originally you can only put 4. Now I can get like, I would say like 6 more, I think, which is great because then you get to save money on buying new palettes. And recently Z palette has gotten into a bit of drama, so a bunch of people aren't trying to buy Z palette, so this could be a good alternative. It doesn't hold as many obviously, but it's also very, very cheap compared to the original Z palette. ColourPop is always doing promotions where they give away these empty palettes for free, so keep an eye out for that. To the actual shadows, these are so amazing. These pressed powders, the formula is so creamy. I was kind of worried because I love their Super Shock shadows, and those are super creamy. They feel wet when you put it on, so those are kind of like cream eyeshadows to me, and I was kind of worried that their pressed powders were going to be chalky, but it was the most creamy formula. It's so blendable. It's just everything I would want in an eyeshadow. Even though I really like the Morphe palette, these are better than the Morphe eyeshadows. These are creamier than the Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I think the palette that I would compare these pressed powders to would be the Lorac palette. Like, they're kind of similarly silky and creamy in their texture. So the colors that I got, it's kind of hard to remember because the colors are on the back, so I gotta lift it. So this first shade that I got is called Bel Air, and the reason why I got it is because of the name, is because it's called Bel Air, and Bel Air is like, for people who live in Houston, that's like the Chinatown in Houston. That's where I hang out a lot, so that's why I wanted to get Bel Air. I'm just gonna swatch it real quick. It's just the perfect neutral brown color for my eyes. I'm actually wearing it in my crease today. The second color is called Made to Last, which looks very similar in the pot, and when I first watched it, I didn't really like it that much because I thought it was gonna be too purple or mauve-y for my liking, but it was actually really pretty on the eyes. I have it in the outer corners. And then there's this color, which is Let Me Explain, and it's a beautiful champagne shimmer color, and I have it in my inner corner. And I've tried using this as a highlighter. It works really well as a highlighter too if you have, you know, similar skin color as me. And then the last one, which I think is part of their Valentine's Day collection, this is the Bouquet Toss color. This is so beautiful. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of look I want to do with it. This is such a beautiful pink color with kind of gold, rose gold flecks of shimmer in it. It's so beautiful. This is what it looks like. I'm so impressed with these eyeshadows, and I like them so much more than I thought I would, and it exceeded my expectations like always. Like, I just love ColourPop. So I'm very happy with them, and I'll probably get more to fill in this palette and then get a new palette and fill that in too. I hope they have more shades, but I think they'll be coming out with more this year, so that's good. Next, I also got some Super Shock shadows from them. So I got the color Sailor, Lovely, and I got the color Sailor, Lovely, and Nillionaire. Nillionaire. It's like millionaire with an N. But anyway, so the reason why I decided to get more Super Shock shadows, even though I have plenty, is because I looked at all of the ones that I had, and all of them are either mattes or pearlized finishes. I looked at a lot of swatches, and the ones that I like the most are the glitter or super shimmery ones. So I decided to try a couple of them out because they look really, really pretty. So the first shade I got is Sailor, which is the most beautiful, what's the word, holographic. It's kind of got a blue pinkish shimmer. When you swatch it, it's so glittery and it's so beautiful. It's just the most glittery neutral shade. Next is another shadow called Lovely, and I think they're trying to discontinue it, which was why I think it was on sale, but it's still a really, really pretty color. I think it's still on the website. This is Lovely, and this is a lot more bronzy than Sailor, but it still has the same amount of shimmer. It's so... oh, so pretty. You can probably use this as a highlight. I think this reminds me a little bit of their Lunch Money highlight. And the last one I got is the one that I can't pronounce. It's called Nillionaire, which is a darker copper kind of eyeshadow. This is a little bit too cool for my eyes. Like, I like using it as a crease color, but like by itself, it looks a little bit too cool. So I might get another one that's like in the same kind of like bronzy category, but I want it to be a little warmer. But I'm still really glad I got this because I don't have any eyeshadows that look like this. Like, it's so pretty. Like, look at that. Like, these three shades together, they're so beautiful. I've been really into glitter and shimmers lately, if you can't tell. So the last thing that I got from ColourPop is a lippie stix, and this is in the shade Oh Snap, and it is a matte finish. I finally found my perfect nude shade. I've been trying so many different ultra matte lips or lippie sticks, trying to find my nude shade. I've tried Times Square, I've tried Midi, and all of them are just a teeny tiny bit off, but this one matches my lips so well that when I put it on, it doesn't even look like I'm putting anything on. It looks like only the texture of my lips is changing because the shade is so close. I wish I could put this on right now to show you, but I'm just gonna swatch it. Look at this nude. This shade is not new, it's been out for a while. It's just I never get to swatch them, so I just kind of end up blindly picking different things on the website. But oh my god, I'm so happy the search is over. Even though I'm probably gonna keep buying nude lipsticks, but this one is such a close match. All right, next let's do Glossier. Y'all know that I love Glossier. Some of my all-time favorite products, holy grail products, come from Glossier. This year they just have not been like as good with their formulas for some reason. So as soon as this came out, I placed an order. So of course I have to try it because I grew to really like the priming moisturizer. So I thought this would be a really nice, you know, nighttime cream. This is the Priming Moisturizer Rich, which is supposed to be richer than the original formula. And I don't know if y'all saw on Snapchat when I first tried this, but as soon as I put it on my face, my entire face like went red, which is a very common reaction to a bunch of products because I have sensitive skin. This has so much fragrance in it. Like when I open it, it smells like solid perfume. It smells like straight up like lavender. I don't know why they decided to put fragrance in it because usually Glossier doesn't have fragrance in their products. Like, it's just so strong and I just can't use it. The only reason why I kept it around is because I wanted to do this video to show y'all what it looks like and that I got it, but I'm not going to be using this. Another product that I got from Glossier that unfortunately I also didn't like is the new Boy Brow in the shade Clear. I am completely obsessed with Boy Brow in the shade black or brown depending on my hair color. Those are like some of the best brow products I've ever tried in my life, but the Clear one just is not nearly as good. I feel like the formula of Boy Brow isn't really to hold your brows up, like it doesn't harden or stiffen your brows to make it stay in place, but rather it just coats it with color so that your eyebrows are more visible. When it's clear, it doesn't do that, so it just ends up like you're putting nothing on your brows. Actually, when I brushed this on my brows, there was actually white residue on my brows and they didn't become more visible and it just looks like there was glue stuck on my brows, so it was a really weird look, so I wouldn't recommend this. Okay, next I'm gonna talk about some stuff that I got from Ulta. I don't know if y'all care where I got the stuff, but I'm just gonna let y'all know. Guys, I think I found my all-time favorite foundation. This is the Nars Sheer Glow foundation and it's been out forever. Everybody talks about it. I feel like everybody has a Nars foundation. I know I'm very late to the game, but I am so head over heels in love with this foundation. I've been wearing it non-stop since I got it. This to me reminds me a lot of the Makeup Forever Water Blend foundation, except it's higher coverage. It's about a medium coverage, but it still looks natural. It looks like as natural as the Makeup Forever Water Blend foundation, but you still cover like any blemishes, acne scars. It's so amazing. It just makes your skin look like skin, but all your flaws are covered up. It's like the perfect medium between like matte and glowing. You're not overly glowy like an oily Zisco ball and you're not overly matte. It's just the perfect finish for me. I feel like it would work for all skin types. It's actually the one the foundation that I'm wearing right now. I forgot to mention that. It wears for a really long time. I didn't think it would, but on my face, it wears for like about 8 hours without any setting powder, which is really, really long. It way surpasses the Makeup Forever Water Blend Foundation. This is gonna be an all-time favorite, and I'm probably gonna purchase this in another shade because Fiji is just a little bit too dark. It's probably gonna be my summer shade. I might as well use this until summer comes because it's already February. But I do have one complaint, not about the foundation, but about the way that this is marketed. So first of all, this is called the Sheer Glow foundation. A bunch of people who reviewed this already pointed out that it's not sheer coverage and it's not a glowy foundation. So the name is very, very misleading. But there's one more thing that makes it really annoying, which is the way that they name their shades. So I have this in the shade Fiji, which they also name it Light 5. I originally got this in the shade Ceylon. The first time I purchased this, I actually got it in the shade Ceylon. That was marketed as a medium shade. When I first tried on the medium shade, it actually looked super pale on my face and it did not match my skin at all. And it was significantly lighter than the shade Fiji, and that's just super confusing to people who get this online. So my suggestion would be to go to Sephora to get your shade matched. The next thing that I got from Ulta is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I've used this in my last Valentine's Day tutorial, and I am completely in love with this. I have this in the shade Light Medium Honey. This is what it looks like. It actually has a giant wand for some reason. It's huge. I've never seen a wand this big. The Ulta around my neighborhood doesn't have this Shape Tape concealer. I'm not actually sure if they sell those in store. I feel like it's only online. So, you know, that's kind of annoying with shade match and stuff. I don't know why people do that. Like, you can't match your shade without actually going there. Like, looking online at pictures is not gonna help. That's another video. So because I got this online, I wasn't actually sure how much product there was, and this actually came out to be like huge. Like, this is the biggest tube of concealer that I've ever owned, I think. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer with the Nars Sheer Glow side by side. Like, it's a big tube, right? Other than the fact that it has a lot of product for the price, it is just the best concealer ever. It conceals everything. I use this under my eyes today on my acne scars, like to highlight, not highlight, but like to lift a little bit of my smile lines. It works on everything. Every time I go to Houston, every time I go to like debate tournaments, this is the only concealer I need. But they sold out of my shade, which is disappointing, but they have it on the Tarte website if y'all are interested. This is the last thing that I got from Ulta. This is the Soap and Glory Archery Brow Putty Dip Pot and Brush. Soap and Glory is like my brand when I first started doing makeup. When I was still studying in England, I would get all of their stuff. I tried their eyeshadows, their lipstick, brow products, their eyeliners. I still have one that I got from England in my makeup collection. So since Ulta now has like a pretty full Soap and Glory collection, I decided to try something out, and this is actually pretty good. So this is what it is. It has a brow brush on one side, and the other side is a little pot. The shade is a little bit too gray and ashy for me, so I don't use it to do my entire brow, but I use the brush and a little bit of the putty to clean up my brow, so this line is a little bit sharper, and it works really, really well like that. I feel like this would work really well for people who like eyebrow pomades but don't want to travel with like an eyebrow brush plus a pot of pomade, and this is just a 2-in-1, convenient, and works really well. I feel like I've been talking forever. Next is something that Trin got for me for my birthday. This is the Morphe 350 palette. I think it's also called Nature Glow, and I was so excited when I got it because I've never had a makeup palette that has so many shades. Actually, that's not true. I have the Lorac Mega Pro palette. What am I talking about? I've shown y'all this in my Valentine's Day video, but can you just take a second? This is giving me sunset and fall and a hot mocha. Like I said earlier, these are really pigmented eyeshadows. They're a little bit chalky and harder to work with than like the ColourPop pressed powders, but they're still really good eyeshadows. My favorite thing about this whole palette is the color selection. I wanted a Morphe palette for a while, but I just never pulled the trigger because I didn't like all of the shades, but this is just everything that I want because it has every shade of brown. And if you know me, like, all my looks are pretty neutral. Like, I never do super dramatic eye looks, so this is just the perfect palette for me. It's funny because when I got this, I said I wasn't gonna buy any more eyeshadows, and then I got the pressed powders and I fell in love with them. So just don't believe me in the future when I tell you that I'm not gonna buy any more makeup. However, I do notice that It smells a little acrylic, like an art class, but you know, it's okay, it's on your eyes, you're not gonna smell it. Okay, next I want to talk about some stuff that I got from Octoly. So if y'all don't know, Octoly is a website you go to like for bloggers or YouTubers when you want to try free products, and I got a bunch of stuff, and it's actually coincidentally I didn't like a lot of the stuff that I got from there. So the first thing is the Pure Cosmetics eye polish. So this is in the shade Satin. I actually tried all of their shades and I just was not a big fan. I tried so hard to like them because they're really pretty, and you know, I've been really into shimmer and glitter and stuff, so I really want to like it. And this is like a really wet cream eyeshadow, which I usually like. It just looks like gunk in there, like it's kind of gross. I'm not sure what this net here is for. Like, I don't know why they can't just make it a pot that they have to put this little net in there. My point is, it's kind of gross, and I'm just gonna swatch this. It is really reflective, but you have to put a lot on, like you have to build up a lot to get a really good shimmer on your eyes. And when I do that, it creases up a lot and it just looks really gunky in your eyes. So I really just am not a fan of this look. I feel like there are more talented makeup artists who can probably make this work, but not me. This is still from Octoly, but I also got some stuff from Clarins, and this is called the Hydra Essential by Face Serum. I want to try Clarins because that is like my mom's skincare brand. Like, she uses Clarins and she's been using it for a long time until I introduced her to Paula's Choice. Before that, she was like a huge Clarins fan, so I want to try it because my mom has pretty good skin. But the same problem that I have with all skincare products with fragrance in it, it just made me a flare up. Claims of this is that it's hydrating, it's supposed to quench your skin, and Clarins is supposed to be an anti-aging brand, so I really didn't expect it. I mean, it's French, but still, I didn't expect it to be like so full of fragrance. You can just smell, like, it's overpowering how much it smells. It made my skin flare up so much I couldn't keep using it, which is like really sad because I don't have a lot of like high-end skincare and I thought I was gonna use it a lot. But another thing that I got from Clarins is the Joli Rouge red lipstick from Clarins. So since Clarins is like a French brand, you know, and French people do red lipsticks really well, so I thought I was gonna really like it. I'm gonna swatch this for you. This is a swatch of their red lipstick. I'm gonna do this a little bit closer so you can see. It doesn't have that pigment. It actually looks like a lip tint. It doesn't look like a lipstick. When I applied this on my lips, I tried to make it work. Just thought, you know, you can keep using it and just use it as a lip tint. But that's pitiful for a lipstick that costs so much, that is from a high-end brand. You should have enough pigment in your lipstick. Some of my ColourPop Matte X formulas can easily beat this lipstick. I feel like I'm a little bit harsher on brands that cost more. The next thing that I got from Clarins is the Mascara Supra Volume, which claims to strengthen your lashes as you apply that mascara, so I was excited to try it. But look at the wand. For people who have smaller eyes, you probably understand the struggle when you have a wand that big. It doesn't catch all of your eyelashes, so you end up with like your middle lashes being darkened and the sides are like clean because it's not curved and it's just a huge big wand, and it's just not practical for me. Okay, the last thing that I got from Octoly, these are the Real Techniques brush, and they're the Metal Bold collection, I think they're called. Every single time that I go to Ulta and I walk past the brush section, I always get tempted to buy these because they're so beautiful. Like, look at the handle. And since I love Real Techniques brushes, I thought this was gonna be like sensational because they look good, and Real Techniques is a really good brand. They are so stiff. I usually prefer synthetic brushes, like they work better for me, but look at this. They're so stiff. And this is supposed to be a concealer brush. This one is a little bit better because this is like an angled liner brush, so like if I'm doing my eyeliner or my brows, having some of that stiffness helps a little so it doesn't move around. But for a face brush, this was just super disappointing. So okay, moving on. Next, I want to talk about some stuff that I got from StyleKorean.com because I haven't bought any K-beauty product in a long time, and I found some really good ones. So first, I'm going to show you this. This is the Too Cool for School Art Class highlighter and bronzer, and I haven't been using the highlighter very much because I got another highlighter here that I'm going to talk about later, but this bronzer I have been using non-stop. It's a bronzer that I have on today, and it's the perfect neutral color for me to do contour and warm up my complexion a little bit. This is what it looks like in the pan, and it kind of reminds me, like the color of it reminds me a little bit of the Hoola bronzer from Benefit, which I really like. It has 3 shades, so when you apply it, it actually looks, it doesn't look flat, you know, even though it's a matte. I think it's matte, yeah, even though it's a matte bronzer. And one thing that I've been doing a lot lately is to use this as an eyeshadow palette, so you don't even have to get an extra eyeshadow palette if you're traveling, because you've got your transition shade, you've got your lid shade, you've got your crease color. If you're not going for anything dramatic, this can work really well on your eyes. I also really like the highlighter. It's the same kind of concept. It has 3 stripes of color, and when you mix it, I usually like to use my fan brush, which I have on my table. It doesn't give you like an intense like slash of highlight, but it gives you a really nice glowy sheen, like a really pretty all over glow. Okay, next is skincare, and this is the Benton Honest TT Mist. I don't use a lot of skincare sprays because the ones that I can find at Sephora or Ulta, most of them have some kind of fragrance in it, so I was never really a huge fan of those sprays, so I use my own. I mix glycerin with water, so it's like just a really simple one. But I actually like this more, and I'm really happy because Benton is a brand that doesn't use fragrance. So it's really soothing. It's amazing the things that you can do with skincare when you don't try to put irritants in it. This has tea tree leaf water, this has hyaluronic acid, and it just, it's really soothing when I feel like I need a little bit of extra moisture at night. Like after I do my skincare routine, I just spray a little bit of this on. I really like it. I'm probably gonna travel with this. Wait, can I even bring this on a plane? I feel like this would be really good if you can bring this on a plane with you to spray on your face, because my skin usually get dehydrated on a plane. Another thing from Benton, this is the fermentation eye cream. I've stopped using eye creams for a while because I feel like my moisturizer, if it's well formulated, can also double as my eye cream, so that's probably not good practice since I am getting old. I'm 21 now. This eye cream has been so good. This has fermentation essence in it, which I don't think is a very popular ingredient in American skincare, but it's really good for anti-aging. I just tap it under my eyes after my whole skincare routine, and it hydrates my eyes really well. It's not overly oily, it doesn't get in my eyes. It's just a really simple eye cream, which I really appreciate. Okay, the last skincare product, this is the Leaders Aquaringer ampoule mask. Leaders actually sent me a bunch of masks, and this one is my absolute favorite. Basically, you open this tube looking thing, and there's a wand inside, and you pull it up, and then you can unroll the sheet mask from there. When I first used it, I thought it was a little bit gimmicky, like it was luxurious, but I also thought maybe they were using it to make up for a lack of quality because a bunch of brands do that. But it was an amazing sheet mask. This has hyaluronic acid in it, and the whole thing was just drenched in essence. I really don't like it when sheet mask doesn't have a lot of essence in it, but this one just has so much. Even after I applied everything like on my neck, on my chest, there was still some stuff left over in this. So I was really impressed with this, and I immediately wanted to get more, and I thought it was going to be really expensive because it came with this tube and everything, and it's a lot more extravagant than the regular sheet mask. But I looked online, and the last time I checked, I think it was $5. So just a little bit more than the regular sheet mask, but it works so well. Okay, we're down to the last 3 products. Guys, I think I have found my all-time favorite highlighter. I've heard so many people rave about this specific highlighter. This is their powder highlighter in the shade Citrine. Everybody talks about this, especially on YouTube. I don't think I've ever heard a negative review about this highlighter, and these are really hard to come by because they sell out really fast every time they launch. I'm pretty sure they're already sold out on their website, but for really good reason, because it has the most beautiful like buttery formula. It's so beautiful. Like I can't, like, look at this. I feel like swatches doesn't really do it justice. I have a teeny tiny bit of it. I've learned to use very small amounts of this because it is so intense. If I full on like use a fan brush to apply it, it would be just so intense. I always thought that my favorite highlighters were going to be cream highlighters, but this powder completely changed my mind because it looks really wet on the skin. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't hang on to dry patches. It just gives you the most natural looking sheen, champagne, beautiful highlight. Oh, I've been talking for so long. The last 2 products I got from Paula's Choice. This is the Resist Anti-Aging Serum Foundation, and I feel like this year a lot of brands are coming out with serum foundation, so I was kind of excited to try this because the last time I've tried Paula's Choice foundations, they were way too light for my skin tone, so I couldn't really test it out because I wasn't wearing it very much. This one was kind of disappointing. Even though it was a pretty good shade match, I have this in the color level 4, but it was just very, you know, meh. Like, it had coverage, but it was a little bit patchy. You kind of have to work with it. When I use my buffing brush to apply it, I feel like I have to do a lot more extra work because it was kind of like streaky and patchy, and it just wasn't my favorite. But this primer, this is the Paula's Choice Resist Smoothing primer serum. I was so excited about this because they described this as having a similar texture as the other serums that Paula's Choice has, and I completely agree. It has the same silky, serum-y kind of consistency, and it sinks into your skin so easily. It doesn't feel too heavy. It's just a really nice primer that makes your skin look better before you apply foundation. And the most exciting thing is that you can use this to replace your daytime moisturizer because it has a lot of SPF. I don't recommend just using foundation with SPF as your primary way of protecting your skin from the sun, because that is not going to be enough. You're not going to apply enough foundation to get that sun protection. But with primers, you can build it up because it has no colors. I think this would work for all skin types because it's not like heavy on oily skin, because I have combination skin. It just feels like you're putting serum on your face. It doesn't even feel like it's primer. My first thought when I got it is, if I still had my Cover FX custom cover drops, I would definitely mix this in with that, because I feel like if this had color, it would be such an amazing foundation. And also the fact that you can skip your moisturizer, your primer, your foundation, and just do all that in one step. Like, I feel like it would work really, really well. But I don't have my custom cover drops right now, so I can't test it. But if y'all have it and you've tried this serum, let me know if it works. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on for I think an hour. Let me know what products you want me to review next, because there are a bunch of new makeup launching. I'm so excited. I feel like I'm gonna buy everything. But if there are any products that you want me to review, let me know. I also swatch a bunch of things that I get like immediately after I get it on Snapchat, so you can follow me there as well. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!